With you, I feel the moment. Oh, with you, I feel the moment. I didn't even realize this. Look, you guys. Libra. It might be backwards. You know, it gets crazy. Oh, wow, wow. All right, babies. I love y'all. And I know you guys have been waiting for your reading. I've been going through something. I don't know if you guys have. We can really relate in this video. Let's be real, because like shit has really been crazy. I'm gonna let you guys know that last year in 2018, on July 27th, which was the day after Dale's birthday, okay, there was a full moon lunar eclipse in Leo. Hi, Jessica Fowler. And I was breaking up with someone that played a very pivotal role in my transformation post me being beckoned or introduced to tarot. It was very traumatic and very toxic, and I'm still healing from it, and that's some of the reasons why you guys haven't seen me. And it's not like directly related to that, but then it is, because that energy still resonates with me, and I'm definitely healing from it. But it's like I'm healing from that on top of healing from so many other things. Well, a couple or a few other things, but they're very like close things that are very life oriented, you know, that play major roles. And that was what Capricorn season was doing. And now I feel like Aquarius season is really looking at us or asking us, right, in the face, how are you gonna heal from all of this stuff that you've been dealing with, right? We've been trying to release the burdens of our past, right, from this Capricorn season that came up. All that heavy weight, that baggage, right? I've already cried twice today. I have a Cancer moon, 29 degrees, okay? I said, let's be real, I've already cried today. I just cried before I started doing this video because I was like, look, and the song is saying, I feel the moment with you. But, you know, I was just crying because I was like, all the fucking shit that we go through as Libras and all the fucking shit that I went through last year and the year before that and years before that, I was like, I don't even really care about it because I know that God has my back. And the song ends on that. Okay? So let me go ahead and cut this card, and I'm cutting it, and we're at the bottom right here, justice. We're talking about fairness, peace, harmony, but we're talking about fairness to oneself, right? When you're fair to yourself, normally, in truth, you're fair to other people, right? Because it's like speaking your truth and being fair within that truth, speaking your fairness as well. Anyway, let me cut these cards so we can get this reading done. I know I love you guys. I mean, obviously, I'm a Libra too. Libra moons as well. So here we go. Let's lay these cards out. You guys know I'm reading at Shanti Bookshop and Crystal Gallery tomorrow from 12 o'clock to 4 p.m. It is on, the address is 230 East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues, okay? Wow! This card always comes up for me from this deck. Never, no matter what, the Ace of Vessels, which is the Ace of Cups. And I was thinking of this card pre-doing your reading, like in the beginning. So what this is talking about for us Libras is it's saying that there's potent energy in terms of receiving new emotional beginning, right? New emotional beginning, something that's going to be fulfilling for you, an opportunity to understand an aspect of need that the opportunity is there and you can get it fulfilled, right? It's at the beginning stages. Ones are talking about focus, and it's also talking about the awareness of something, right? How are we going to bring awareness to the way this new thing is making you feel, or the way this new manifestation of something has caused you to feel? Hi, Freedom Out of Darkness Tarot, I love you. But yeah, we are definitely experiencing something, because you know what? That energy that is going on still in Capricorn, the sun isn't there anymore, but you know, all those other planets are still in Capricorn, and the sun is in Aquarius, and you know, Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn and Uranus. So this is talking about, you know, that fourth house energy of Capricorn, right? Which is really ruled by Cancer for us. So it's talking about our structures in the home and outside of the home, our structures in our lives as individuals, yes, this Ace of Cups, and then our structures within ourselves emotionally, right? Because things have to be recalibrated. Things have to be readjusted sometimes. You know how you have to adjust the legs of an easel, right? 3 legs. You usually have to adjust one of those legs, and that's the Empress too. Sometimes she has to be recalibrated, right? Because she puts so much energy and so much focus into like what other people need, and that's what we have been doing for so long. We've just kind of been second guessing ourselves a lot too, based on the history of, like, you know, the imprint that we have in terms of how people have influenced us, right? That stuff is still there. So you have to become more aware of your emotional triggers, right? Because the Ace of Cups is also talking about emotional triggers. And it happens because out of emotional triggers, what is that? That comes from a place of toxicity. That comes from a place of fear. It comes from a place of uncertainty. And it also comes from a place of not really knowing what to do with those feelings that you have had, right? And that you've been holding on to, and that you've been doing things with, and you've been processing, but maybe you're not doing it fast enough because shit just keeps coming in, right? The scales, put something on me, another thing. And Saturn, your exalted planet, is in your 4th house, doing some major stuff right now in another cardinal sign. Worst month for a long time. Well, you know what? This month for me, this month of January, you know, at the end of December, coming into January, was just me really understanding more about my emotions. Mine. Not anyone else's. How other people, I allow other people to take the power away from me by responding to the way that I react to them emotionally, right? But responding in negative ways, in ways that are toxic. This is also talking about fulfillment through cleansing, through some sort of like therapeutic way of purifying something. If you guys could hit the thumbs up button, I would love that. And you know, the one talks about Aries as well. So some of us could be dealing with some Aries energy as well, because that's the first sign. And we're talking about the first month here in January. So some of us Libras, who we're probably always dealing with some Aries. You know what I mean? That type of energy. Or this could be someone that might be like a Pisces or something like that, right? Because this is the Ace of Cups. I'm just getting that. I'm saying it for some reason. And then, you know, if you're a Pisces and that's your first house, then part of that first house is probably going to be Aries, depending on, you know, where the degrees are within that first house. So let me go ahead and read this card that's in the present right now. Actually, I want to read the past. I just got influenced to do that, inspired. Wow. Oh my God, you guys, I can't take what's happening. So, okay, I'm sorry. So, there's been so many synchronicities. Anyway, before I did this reading, I was getting myself ready because I was also thinking about that earlier, Libra. I was like, when I do my readings, I have to take a shower, get dressed, do my hair, do something, get my clothes on, you know, stuff like that, and then I can do the reading. But I'm a Libra sun and Libra rising. But before I was getting ready, I was like showering, brushing my teeth and stuff. I guess I had already been dressed, but then I saw a spider coming from the ceiling, and I was like, don't kill the spider, because you just looked at a video that talked about symbolism from animals and insects and things like that that just come out of nowhere. I've never seen a spider in this apartment, you guys. So I took my my check stub and I opened, which is funny, that's what I got. I took the check stub and I got the spider and I went over to the window and I let it free. But anyway, in the past you got the star card, we did, and there's a spider on it. Damn, you can't make this shit up. What the fuck? Absolutely feeling your vibes and your reading. Blessings to you. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so nice. Whoa. Okay. So 17, this is talking about confidence in oneself and being able to maintain that out of a place of strength, right? through courage and understanding who you are. This is getting back to oneself. And self, the Ace of Cups here, the One of Vessels, it's beautiful. You're putting more attention into the needs that you have to be met, right? I'm also Libra Sun and Rising. We are definitely facing the shadow in terms of our emotional. Yeah, and I'm going to go and meet up with a Libra Sun and Libra Rising after this. We were born at the exact same time, but he was born in October a year later. But this spider is here. It's talking about the ability to keep what works and get rid of what doesn't, right? Because spiders live on a very delicate plane. Right? There's a sense of balance that's there. There's a sense of balance that's in the work that they do all the time, which is interesting because we're in the first day of Aquarius, I believe, or we're cusping that. And this is a fellow air sign as well. So, you know, those spider webs are very intricate. They're very detailed. And it's one spider that does that. Not a group, not two, one. So it really is talking about the confidence to achieve things, the confidence to see something and actually conceptualize it and feel the freedom to be able to do so without questioning it. And that's what I feel like a lot of Libras are doing now, but you're also being tested majorly, okay? Because it's like, do you believe it? Do you believe it? Right? You gotta believe it. And this is talking about belief in something as well, Aquarius, right? It's like believing that you are a part of a fabric that you can also be a major player in, right? It's the individuality that really makes you, you know, seem like someone that people want to know. It makes you seem like someone that actually is interesting. Because Libras are very interesting. It's just that we're so interested in other people, then we don't necessarily give them all of the opportunities to experience the depth of us, right? Sometimes, because we're so easily influenced by the way other people make us think. And that's in the past for us. Let's look at the present. Chief of Blades, which is Aquarius. Fixed air. Okay, so this is double air. This is talking about how you think, the way you think about yourself. This is another Aquarius card. This is crazy. Okay, so this is talking about clarity of mind. Clarity of mind and understanding who you are. Right, yep, love it, baby. And you know what, I've been thinking about doing some things, and I gotta really push myself to do it because I feel like we always have these really amazing ideas, Libras, and I know that all of you out there, if you agree with me, hit that thumbs up button. You always have these really amazing ideas that might even come in super fast. I have a lot of Jupiter too, so things are constantly being inspired. But, you know, there's only so much time in a day, okay? You know what I mean? Like, we can't really manifest all of those things unless we really put some thought and some, intricacies behind how we conceptualize our, you know, how we are creative. Because this is not necessarily a creative card. It's how you create from a place of originality, right? Because the Aquarius energy is talking about originality, and it's talking about individuality within a fabric of something that's similar to all of us, right? And that's why we should all be able to appreciate everything or something, one thing at least, that's everyone has to offer. Yeah, because we all do have something to offer. And the Chief of Blades understands that. He understands that there's a time, there's a place, there's a way. Okay, and we understand that too as Libras. But sometimes you don't necessarily feel confident in that way of thinking because you know other people don't think that way. And you always, you know, we put a lot of consideration into weighing out how other people think in terms in relation to how we think, and seeing like if there's a merging, you know, of concepts and philosophies there, so then we can like progress and move forward and relate more and build things, you know, socially you right? Because that plays into like the psychological process of all of us, right? It's healthy for all of us to acknowledge each other and admit to what everyone has to offer, but also definitely not forgetting what we know that we have that no one else does, right? Let's look at the challenge. Giveaway dance, Six of Pentacles. So some of us are out here and we're feeling like, you know, the universe and the world. Yeah, should we take the steps to embrace our individuality and voice it? Yes, you definitely should. Because there are things that people are missing out, right? You're not providing it. It's like when you go to that grocery store to get those items that you count on and they're not there. And you're like, damn, man, now I gotta go all the way over here and get it there, right? Because somebody didn't have it. But it's like they don't have it because it's practical matter. You're not having it because you're just not giving it to someone, right? You're not providing that information, that insight, letting people in on the great mind that you actually do have. And this is a challenge, right? Because this mind is very worthwhile. People want it because the Six of Pentacles is talking about investing in something, receiving something that's meaningful. Actually, it's gratitude as well, you know, and when you give, you also receive. So stop holding back on things, because once you start to put things out there and you start to generate these channels of energy and stop feeling challenged, I guess, by, you know, the music is playing from the Wi-Fi and the internet, and it never skipped a beat, but this did. So I'm going to get on with the reading so this doesn't keep happening. But you guys are investing things. You're making more money. It's making you feel better. It's making you think a little bit clearer. It's making you understand that you can save more money. You do have places that you can put things. You know, some of you guys are getting things or affording things that maybe you haven't been able to afford before. That type of thing. Some of you are starting to think about saving more money or putting money in places where it can actually be held so that you can, you know, start to feel a little bit more stable and a little bit more financially secure. Because a lot of us are definitely thinking about financial security. We're thinking about how we've been, you know, maybe wasting money some. And I've been thinking about that as well with that Jupiter placement there. For everyone, Jupiter is in Sagittarius. So we're all just thinking about how we can like scale things back a little bit. I definitely have. I have Jupiter in Sag, so, and it's conjunct Uranus. But the sixes are also talking about, you know, the ability to work well within a group, yes, and everyone having something to offer, absolutely, and it's within a structure that people are committed to. So you are committed to a purpose that is definitely going to play a role into, you know, building things. Are we there? I prayed that the video wouldn't do that, and it has started to do that, but it's only been a couple of times. I know that we lose people when that happens, but it's alright. You'll still see the video. Alright, so that's what we're talking about. Now we're going to look at your sun. You got the Matriarch of Blades. That's the Queen of Swords. That's also a Libra card, or it's Libra energy because it's cardinal air. And this is talking about the truth to believe in oneself, right? The truth to believe or not believe in things that other people tell you or other things that people might make you believe. This is cardinal energy, so it's talking about initiation. It's talking about leadership as well, but it's almost like you're activating like this leadership role that you know that you've always had, but you've just kind of been like resting on, because it is kind of talking about the need to express something, right? And it's the need to express something that is close to you in the way that you think and how you feel about what you actually believe in. Yes, that type of thing. And you are creating more for yourself because you know that this is actually, she can stand on her own, you know, because she's already pregnant. So there's already been something that's been initiated. Something's already active. Something's already waiting to, bear with me, guys. Hold on with me now. If this has to be a part one, it will be a part one, but I'm going to get through these messages here. That's for sure. So that's what you guys are doing. We're feeling like ourselves, right? And we're understanding that we have to be unapologetically us. Because with the moon position here having the Weaver, which is the Temperance card, this is part of our emotional healing process. Maybe feeling like things were going in one direction and then they had to change course, and then that affects us emotionally, because then it kind of like discourages us. It kind of like influences our courage, right? Not courage, but our stamina with something, like, oh, I don't know if I should keep on with it. I know I definitely have been feeling sometimes too. It's almost like you're like, oh, should I push through? Should I keep going? How am I going to make this work for me? It's challenging, but it's not. It's just really believing in oneself and understanding that. Okay. All right, I'm just going to with spirit in the universe. So in the anxieties here, we have the Six of Swords. So we definitely have been worried, and we've definitely been affected mentally by our, it's not our disbelief and it's not our lack of belief, but it's kind of like we are still connected to part of our past that we are still trying to heal from, right? We're still trying to calibrate. We're still trying to trust again, that type of thing, because this is the Six of Swords. This is a journey card, right? Six of Swords, anxiety position. Connect the anxiety position to the moon card here, right? Because you're your anxiety. So do your thoughts as well. Um, but Mercury and Aquarius, it'll be going there soon. So maybe these anxieties will actually subside by the time that Mercury gets into Aquarius, because we'll all be further along in our healing process. This is just kind of like you really being stuck on. You needed to move on. We did. So in the Mars position, you have the Maiden of Shields. We do. And this is the Page of Pentacles. So right now, you're really putting a lot of you might have a new job. Some of you might be making more money. And you're starting to learn how to, like, assess that, or, access your money in different ways. Using it in different ways. You know, there might be some opportunities that are coming in, that you might be eager to take. It is saying don't get overzealous and don't take on too many projects, because, out of your need to feel like something happening. Be very smart about what it is that you're doing, and really do what counts right now. That's what I'm getting. Do what counts, because what counts is actually going to bring you into a place of physical truth. You really know where you are. This is almost kind of like you're not relying on anyone else to provide anything for you, right? For yourself, and you're putting a lot of energy and focus and effort into that. Yeah, that's why some of you are like working 7 days a week. 6 right here. Right. Okay. So in your in your Venus placement and in your advice, you got the One of Blades, which is the Ace of Swords. So this is talking about refocus, focusing, thought patterns, influencing other things. You know what I mean? It's almost like change of focus, understanding what a new truth is. It's almost kind of like the relief of something. So you've been relieved of your worry of something or the anxiety of something, which is good, because you do have the um, Six of Blades here in the anxiety, but that's okay, because you also have all of these other very high air cards, which you have the Star card, you have the Chief of Blades, you definitely have the Ace, the One of Blades here in the Venus placement, right? This is saying putting focus on you, right? Self-awareness again. Yeah. You have the tools mentally, right, to bring the focus into what it is that you know you can provide for yourself, because you have two pentacles here. It's the challenge, right? The immediate influence. And then you have it here in the Mars position. So these are things that are very active right now. You're thinking about time. You're thinking about home and family. Where are you living? Where do you want to settle down, some of you? Some of you are also thinking about like opening up a business, I'm getting. Some of you are thinking about that. But I'm talking about like a store, maybe. Something like that. Because Libras are really known for like things like that, a lot of beauty and fashion and stuff like that. Anyway, that was just one message that came in. Um, yes, let's continue. I want to read the rest of the cards. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what's happening. Cleansing, right? Because as far as the past, present, and future positions, that future card is 9 of Blades, which is polygamy, right? The 9 is a cycle. And when you think of a cycle, it goes over and over and over again. And this is a 9. So it's also related to the Hermit, which is Virgo. Processing your thoughts, over analyzing your thoughts, over processing your thoughts, right? Putting more energy into the over analyzation of negative thoughts. Negative thoughts, because it's like when you constantly analyze a situation that's over, that was toxic, you're kind of breathing life. You're resuscitating that thing. And I know that some of us are realizing also that we have to talk about things and we have to understand what a situation was, and we have to speak our truths, which is the advice, right? In terms of healing from that thing, but make sure you don't do it too much. Also, make sure you don't become a victim of those thoughts and start to blame yourself, or start to become angry with yourself over things that someone else may have done that really had no attachment to you, right? This is also some of us not really being able to sleep at night. This is kind of like coming to the end of that, right? We're almost there. You're almost at the point where you don't have to reference those things that were, traumatic for you as much anymore, because you're stepping into this new focus of energy, right? And you're doing it so that you can have a new emotional beginning, right? Intuitively, you can feel it. And you guys feel like energies of other people too, and that's a part of your healing process. And that's also another reason why you got this 9 of Blades, because sometimes I know that I am very telepathic. You guys, I don't know if you guys are, but I feel like I am a lot of the times. I mean, look at me. I have like, this is I love this thing. Anyway, and we are talking about cleansing, purification, being free of an experience, right? One that held you back, one that made you feel confined. You're reaching some sort of like emotional and spiritual atonement. It's like an understanding that there's a greater power at play. There's something that is very dense, something that is very strong, and it has to do with like power, right? You guys are definitely stepping into your power more. Um, you're doing it because you have to release these things that you don't have any control over, right? Because sometimes when you don't have any control over something, that of a situation that might be toxic, you want to kind of like gain control over it. So you start to do things and you start to act in ways that aren't really yours. It's out of character. It's like very Plutonian in a sense. And I know because I have Pluto in the first house, and Pluto right now is in Capricorn with Saturn, which is your house of home and family. And then Capricorn is your place in the world. So it's almost kind of like there are toxic situations that might be getting in the way of you stepping into your power, the Judgment card, Pluto, and following that path, right? Upward into attaining that place that you are meant to be in the world, right? And it's kind of like you have to realize that there are certain things that you have to let go of on your journey, on your way up, or on your way wherever you're going, that may not be of use to you anymore. It's like shedding skin. It's like kind of like getting rid of things that are old or something that has died that you're setting free. It could even also be like a feeling, right? It's kind of like this intense emotional attachment that you have to something that is almost like a relic. That's what I'm getting. You know what I mean? And some of you guys are holding on to things that you need to really release that you haven't still, and some of you guys have released these things, but it's almost like your thought patterns are still connected to that thing because you're still healing from it. Therefore, you're reminded of it, which is why you have this Five of Blades here at the top of the reading as the ascendant, and what is kind of like being projected that you can't really do anything about, which you're going to have to tap more into the awareness of like the stability and the structure of what this Weaver card here, this Temperance card, is doing for you in terms of your emotions, because there's still that slander of the mind because you're revisiting Pluto, that Scorpio. You're still going back to those things when you analyze them, right? This Nine of Wands, this Nine of Swords, Nine of Blades energy, polygamy. It's kind of like an abundance. It's almost like gluttony of negative thoughts. You're like eating them, right? But then there just is so much. Anyway, the Five of Blades at the top is talking about, a commitment that you might be attached to is causing you to feel and think in ways that aren't going to be helpful to you, right? It's not to your best interest, right? Some of you have detached from situations that you may have felt like were harmful to you on a mental level, on a spiritual level, and that's why you have this Ace of Cups here and this Ace of Swords, because once you took action on that, right, to release yourself and heal, the Star card, the Chief of Blades, the Journey card here, the Six of Blades, you started to feel differently. And therefore, your focus changed based off of those feelings, right? And there were almost kind of like these epiphanies that took place as well. And you were dealing with those. And that's why you were analyzing your thoughts and you were processing things, because you were having these light bulbs go off, and you still are. And, that's why you're kind of still there. You're still committed to these thoughts. And you still kind of feel like, you know, you're trying to set yourself free of feeling like you lost something, right? I feel like that's also what we're doing. Or we might even be putting to rest the idea that a situation might have been ours to win, right? It's almost like you're like, no, I'm not even going to compete. I'm not trying to compete with anyone, right? Because this is a 5. And the 5s are talking about the Hierophant, but the 5s are also talking about, the 5th house type of energy too. You're like, I don't want to compete with this energy. I don't want to compete with you. I don't want to compete with things that aren't even real to me. They're just actually fragments or fragments, what is it, of my imagination based off the way that you are causing me to think, right? You're getting in my head. And that's also related to the Hierophant, because the Hierophant is the inner ear. That's, mentorship. That's, priests and people that are in high positions that we listen to. They get in our heads and we allow them to make us believe things, or they sort of guide us to believe things that are going to play a role into how we function in society in healthy ways, right? But at the same time, sometimes when you are in a situation where you are listening and believing in something that someone might be saying, they might understand their power, Pluto, the judgment call, abuse that power, right? In a psychological way. There might be like, there could even be like, there is no winner here. I'm going to free myself from this, and I'm going to choose to win for me, and not based on something that is about you. It's like I'm on a team with the universe or something. You know what I mean? With you, and that's basically what you're going to do. I don't know why I got that. I don't know why I made that team reference. Maybe it's a six. But yeah, it definitely is talking about purpose. You guys are stepping into your purpose because someone may have taken you off of that course, or you may have allowed yourself to go off course in terms of your purpose because you were holding on to things in the past that have been, meaningful for you at one point, and now it's time to set yourself free of those things so that you can now become a leader, right? Council chief, the emperor, right? This is trusting in oneself that you can get the job done. You can make the decisions. You can execute things. You can be the boss. Your structure, your stability, your construction. Fierce Libra, I really appreciate you guys putting up with me in this video, cutting out. If you guys would like to get a reading from me, please email providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram. I am at NYC I'm Kendrick NYC. And I also have a food account called The Tongue Pot. You can see pictures and stuff there. Definitely follow Providence Tarot as well. We do weeklies. I do weeklies on Instagram, and Dale does weeklies on Instagram as well. And of course, I'm doing monthly videos here on YouTube, and also you get the weeklies. I got some soulmate cards recently, and I also got the Romance Angels Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue recently. So I'm reading from that. I don't think I have another deck that I got recently, but this one, I love it, the Native American Tarot deck. Beautiful. I got it from a very seasoned New York reader. Her name is Lorraine Calsuli. She reads at Quest Bookshop, which is, I think, on West 51st Street. You guys can Google that. It's a huge place. But they have a psychic fair that's going on there on the 27th of January. I think that's a Sunday, so you guys can go there and see. I might be reading there as well, volunteering. I've done it once, and it was a really nice experience. There are astrologers there. There are different type of readers there, you know what I mean? So, and people who can tell you a lot of information about yourself and about your birth chart and maybe about your energy and your transits, or just like your aura. There might be Reiki readers or energy readers there, all kinds of things. But yeah, I also got some things made by a jeweler that I work with at Shanti Bookshop and Crystals Gallery. I think on Instagram, her name is Crystal Path Creations. And I just gave her like 60 little crystals and stones from like a container that I got as a gift. And I said, just do whatever you want with these, as long as, they're not like earrings or something, because I don't have any piercings. I was like, just do whatever. I'm not even going to tell you what to do. I did have these like crazy ideas. I was like, I want a cuff of all of them. Or then I was like, I want like a choker. And then I was thinking about like something else, like a headpiece. Anyway, I'll show you guys what those items have become now that she has put her magic and her energy into them. I cannot wait to get them. And maybe I'll do a quick video showing you guys those. I love you. If I left anything out, option box below if you'd like to donate to the channel. I'll put the PayPal information there, and I'll also put the Venmo information there if you want that. Yeah. Reach out to me, send me messages on Insta, all that stuff. Okay, you guys, I love you. Bye, Libra.